Kurt. Look. From Frank Vaults. Who is Frank? Frank, he told me this was coming. He got the Future Spa. Remember that beautiful Future Spa? He must have been happy.
What is it?
He told me, he said, I'll be surprised. So this is for everyone, especially Steven.
Fist comes out and punches you in the face.
Well, it says Todd. That's me.
I hope a big fist comes out.
Thank you. By the time this box arrives, you were celebrating the Thanksgiving holiday, or maybe you're still celebrating. Look, my Future Spa ride last week, and I'm enjoying it so much. It's truly beautiful. You know what it is? It was worth the wait. Wasn't that Future Spa gorgeous? You have the most talented and excellent staff. Everyone is a master at their jobs. I am amazed that there are still people who know how to fix circuit boards and repair their historic electronics. The work that you and your team do is like going back in time machine and bringing pieces of history into the present. We're so creative to bring these machines back to life through the videos that you produce. Your videos are so interesting, educational, and very entertaining. Kurt, they like me when I make my...
Somebody likes you.
Wait. Wait a minute. I should do a couple. Kurt doesn't think I should do those sound effects.
No.
I've learned a lot about pinball machines just by watching you open them up and explain on the internal parts. You make me laugh out loud at least once in every video. See, Kurt? Kurt says I'm wasting time. He says make them all meet and no fun.
What?
And I want to especially thank Steve Brubaker. Oh, wait a minute, Kurt. Let's go back and read this to the boys. We're at the point where we need to read it.
Let's go find Steven. I'm sure he's doing nothing.
Okay, gentlemen, we just got a box from the guy who we sent the Future Spa to, and he doesn't want us dead. Anyway, I'm going to read the letter from the part that applies to you boys. I want to especially thank Steve Brubaker for the amazing job he did repainting the pinball machine. I can see some places where he really had a lot of work to do. But as an artist, so much of what he does in restoration is not visible to the customer. He makes it look original. He is the Michelangelo of Southampton. It says
It's
that.
easy for you to say.
And I want to especially thank Jason Kohler for his masterful work, repair, restoration, and great color choices. The game looks amazing and plays beautifully. What a tasteful and excellent restoration. It is obvious that the machine has had a rough life, but Jason has brought it back to life, and I really appreciate all that he has done. He is a technician and an artist. Great job. And I especially want to thank Todd, because you are the greatest thing on planet Earth. You are the gift to...
No, that's
sorry.
not in there. That's lies.
Well,
None of that's there.
there's nothing. They don't mention you.
What about the crating?
There's nothing about it. Look, I want to especially thank Kurt, that's you, Kurt, for his awesome customer support. There's nothing about you either, Wallace.
Oh, yeah.
Was Kurt talking to him from home?
Did you hear that?
Must have been talking to him
After
from
I
home.
had connected everything, I had a stupid question, so I called your tech support phone number, and Kurt answered. See, usually we answer the tech support like, oh,
Like you're gonna do right now?
we're not answering it. Hello?
Slam.
No, service is closed.
Nice.
That's how you do your tech support.
Only between the hours of 10
problem
and
was
8.
user hurt, and I was embarrassed. He just told me to have fun and enjoy. Did you really tell him to have fun?
Of course.
Yes, Frank. Of course, Kurt would tell you that. He is a really great guy. Coffee time. My favorite coffee flavor is Jamaican Me Crazy. So here's a 5-pound bag.
For Steve? Jesus.
I hope you enjoy it.
No, that's for you.
I have also included 3 bags of Dunkin' Donuts.
Nice.
Oh, one for Steven, one for Jason, and one for Kurt.
Nice.
No. If you're nice, maybe they'll share it. I hope you and your family have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. We have so much to be thankful for. I'm so thankful you have dedicated and committed your career and business to preserving a significant element of American history, one machine at a time. I applaud you. Living is good, and you make life better. With much gratitude, Frank Volts from North Carolina. Oh, there's also...
Thanks,
Look,
Frank.
wait a minute. There's a record for my wife. Your wife, Frank, you left off wonderful wife.
Lovely.
Or lovely, I could say Pam. I hope she enjoys it. And it's got your first name too, Frank. Frank Volts, though. Look at that. That's you. Frank, that's you. My gosh, that's you, Frank. You're a harpist.
Okay.
God, wow, that's
Jason. Hi, Jason.
Hi, Frank.
Oh, Jason's back. You remember Jason? He's back. This is his first day back. So you're only going to work 15 hours.
Today.
Yes, today. When we get you back in
Who needs sleep?
then you'll be back to 18. And this boy's been sick. Look at him. He's 30 pounds lighter. Wow.
Fit in a lot of clothes I wasn't able to fit into for years.
Now he fits in the uniform. You're still a Philly cop.
He's still smell all the smell out.
Squeezes it in. And how about Ryan? Is Ryan still there?
I haven't seen him.
Don't you miss Ryan? And now the little Chris, a short round. He's going to be a Philly cop.
Oh, yeah?
So he goes to the school in February. We're going to have 3 TNT cops. So if you need your tickets fixed. Thank you, Frank. But listen, what you've been waiting for is right behind you. Don't swing the camera yet, Kurt. Astro Blaster. That's what this video is all about. Baby, wait until you see this. Here's something you'll never see again in your lifetime. 3 Sega Gremlin Astro Blasters in one place. And one of them, a Cabaret. And here is something you'll never hear again. All 3 come on at the same time.
Fighter pilots needed in Sector Wars. Play Astro Blaster.
Isn't that sharp? Isn't that sharp? 3 beautiful Astro Blasters, all restored.
Actually, there's 5 of them at my house. They're all minis.
Wait a minute, what's that? What's that, Kurt? What are you doing? I'm doing my...
That's what you want to do. I hope we get cut.
There we go.
That was his favorite song.
Alright, where were we? Astro Blaster. One of the first games using the famous G80 system. It's actually not famous, but the G80 system was a board cage. Instead of having 1 or 2 large boards, you had all these little cards. The idea was you could switch games, do easy repairs, etc.
Easy.
That was the idea.
Oh, yeah. So easy.
Now let me show you inside at the bottom, that green board at the bottom. Similar to Bally Midway's card cage system, you have to take that board out and re-flow solder.
800 pins.
Yes, a whole roll of solder. Whole roll of silver solder. But once you do that, these babies are trouble-free. Now, these also had fans on them, okay, to keep the cage running cool.
I thought they were heater fans.
I guess that is kind of ambiguous, isn't it? Cards are similar to like this. These are our spare boards. I always like
the ones that were in the games. It's pretty neat how the games are working with the boards on the floor.
Frank, you can't keep insulting me. Caddy.
So much fun.
Oh. Look. Now here is the neat thing. This particular Astro Blaster we are selling to a former employee, Steve. Steve, here it is. He's buying it for his girlfriend. And this beautiful, beautiful game I bought brand new back in '81 for $26.99 or $27.99, something like that. I just looked at the meter. It's got 55,000 plays on it. And that's with about 20 years of free games clicked away on it. No, folks, I've never made my money back on it. But I have a lot of great memories associated with it. And here's what I got to tell you. In 1989, a local newscaster, Don Pollock, from Channel 6 Action News, called me on the phone and says, hey, can I do a feature story on you? He would appear at the end of the news broadcast with something funny and fun. So I said, sure, come on out. So he came out and he filmed a really neat segment with us. Now listen, this is what you're going to be looking for. I recorded it off my TV screen with my VHS camera. That's what we had in 1989 on a tripod. So this is the best I can come up with. And remember, I can't find any footage of this, so it's not saved anywhere. So this is kind of the raw stuff. But you will clearly see some really great stuff we had in the showroom for sale. Three Stooges.
Sector Wars. Play Astro Blaster.
That sounds like the robot from Lost in Space. Three Stooges video game. Genesis Pinball from Gottlieb. It was only 3 years old here. One of the little Moppet mini videos. Orbiter 1. The Stern Pinball with a moon-like surface, and right next to it a haunted house. 2 in a row. A Gauntlet. The original Atari 4-player Gauntlet. And here's something really, really neat. Cockpit Missile Command. It was huge, huge monster. And a cockpit Buck Rogers video game. I mean, can there be many left in the world? There was a mechanical game called Fire Escape where you had to get a ball, sort of like a ice cold beer, from the top of the building down to the bottom without having to fall over the edge. And then a really rare Tato driving game, Change Lanes. Working. They were really hard to keep working. And here's the funny thing, that Change Lanes, after we filmed the video, I think it broke or something. I put it in my warehouse. It's still there. My goal is to fix the change lanes and put it into my game room, just like this game is going.
Fighter pilots needed in
But now, without any further ado, let's go to Don Pollock's world and me.
Has to say about the addictive personality. And from Don Pollock's world, where you should go if you're looking for your very own pinball machine. Those stories, plus college basketball highlights and AccuWeather next on Action News. And Temple takes on the Spiders of Richmond. Don Tollefson has highlights, Dave Roberts, the late word from AccuWeather. And we have a report from Don Pollock's world when Action News continues tonight.
In and of itself, it's probably one of the most pointless endeavors ever devised by mankind. A steel ball bearing being made to roll and bounce amidst rubber and plastic obstacles, but nonetheless an activity that's compelling enough to be the focus of a unique Delaware Valley business. For the past 2 years, Todd Tuckey has operated the equivalent of a used car showroom for pinball machines, from which he also sells used video games and just about every other variety of coin-operated bandit that sucks up spare change at the corner tavern or arcade.
This is the place to come when you're tired of putting quarters in at the arcade. You can do it in your own basement and save.
A prospect that leads many to the Southampton showroom of his TNT Amusement Company.
When people come through the door, I just let them go. I turn all the games on, and I come in and say, hi, everything's on free play. Why don't you just walk through? Most of the people that come in buy something. And once they buy one game, then I got them hooked.
Not surprising, considering they're able to try their hand at anything from an antique penny fortune machine dating back to 1901 to a modern-day hybrid electronic baseball game. All of them, it turns out, victims of the ever-changing popularity trends in games at the area arcades he supplies.
These are not bad games, they're just not played anymore. Right now, our pinball sales are very high. And people are buying it for a fraction of the price. This game here, brand new, was $2,500, $2,600, and we're selling it for $500.
Enabling enthusiasts to indulge their pinball passion to the hilt in the comfort and privacy of their basement rec room.
There's a core of video games that are our hot sellers: Centipede, Miss Pac-Man, Defender, Asteroids, and Stargate.
Leading to the option for the die-hard gamester of having one in every room of the house, which, in combination with the company's liberal trade-in policy to acquire new and different games, could turn an occasional recreational pastime into an obsessive and all-consuming passion. This is Don Pollock at Channel 6 Action News in Southampton.
That line next on Channel 6 Action News continues at 6 a.m. with Monica Malpass and at noon with Chris Wagner, Robin Garrison, and Harry Martin. Now for Dave Roberts, Don Tollefson, the entire Action News team, I'm Jimmy Burke. Have a good night.
Well, Kurt, you were pretty young there, weren't you?
Yes, it was.
Do you know that was like 27 years ago? Was it 20, something like that, 26 years ago? Back when
God, you're over
hair
27
wasn't
years
going
old.
gray.
Man, you're
He had
old.
longer hair too, didn't
And
he?
you were 200 pounds lighter.
Oh!
Well, listen. Oh, by the way,
keep indulging me.
well, Don Pollock sold me the game back. Actually, he bought 2 games right after that special aired, Astro Blaster and something else. I don't remember what it was. Quicks. And I bought them back about a year ago, and they've been in the warehouse since. But he still has a website. Here it is. He still does this funny stuff.
Where's
I
your
broke
disc?
your disc. Here's your record.
Sounds clear as a bell, doesn't it? Jerk.
Jerk. I don't like that song. Anyway, let's get back to this game. The G80 system has a G80 power supply.
Go figure.
Bob Roberts made this kit up for me. Kurt, why are you boys so mean to me?
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Brilliant.
Okay. The G80 kit, power supply kit. You gotta change these caps. It's full of ice cold solder connections too. The gold one is what you're familiar with. What you're not familiar with is the one back here. Frank, come back here. If you can fit.
You can
Boy,
fit, I can
squeezing.
fit.
Here, let me show you. This original brick system here was used in Carnival and other games, but the Carnival one was much more simpler. This supplies 3 voltages, and of course it has the amplifier. This kit will go into this system, even though it doesn't look the same. The Star Trek and other vector games use a gold color one. Same caps though, same principle. We put that power supply back to life. Geo7 and Steven's game, new caps, new flyback, and a couple other things we do. We took all those cards out and reheated them, reflowed solder on them. Baby, it's built to last. And the same is true with Doug. Doug is getting this machine. He lives in Maryland, and we're taking this down to him next week. Power supply, same thing's done. He's got a 7000 chassis in his, but with a new flyback. Remember I told you we're putting flybacks in all of our monitors now when they go out. New policy. We've been doing a lot of them for many years, but now everything. And we did the same thing with his board set. Original stickers on the side, the inspection stickers. Very nice. Sega was very thorough. You know, the only thing, Frank, that this game didn't have was an on-off switch. They should have had on-off switches. Anyway, come over here and I'm going to show you the Mini. Now, the Mini has some differences. Obviously, it's a different transformer on the bottom.
Obviously.
Now, look.
Who didn't know that?
The cage here is different. Notice there's no interconnects, and instead, the cables go to other connectors that are completely unrelated to the other game. That's because this is a foreign one. This came from overseas, but look, very nicely, they put all the stickers on the side. Now, the monitor in this game was bad. We actually had to throw it out. It had all these funny caps in it. We've put in a nice standard 4900. So that's what that has. I've got one manual left. It's a little water damage, but that's going to ride along with my little game. There's my plate. Look, the serial number. Serial number is pretty high, so I don't think they made many of these. Frank, I saw one other Cabaret on YouTube. Somebody from overseas has one of these, and it's in a different cab than I've never seen before. So there may be 2 Cabarets at this very game. But this is the one that was sent over here to America. Come up front, Frank, because
All right.
I'm going to give you...
Fighter pilots needed in Sector Wars.
Look at that.
Play Astro Blaster.
Doesn't that sound great? The tonal
Fighter
inflection.
pilots needed in Sector Wars. Play Astro Blaster.
Is this one next, Frank?
No.
Anyway, when I read online that this is the newer board ROM revision because it's got this screen that gives you the instructions on how to play the darn thing. From what I understand, it was very difficult to figure out how to play it, and that's why it wasn't big. The ROM revision they hoped would fix it. Now look at the differences here. See, your controls are buttons on both sides, 4 buttons. But here, we've got a left and right, and the buttons aren't next to each other. They're way over here. Very odd setup. Now this button here is our credit button to put credits on it. Happy face, 2 happy faces. That loads it. Now, this game has an amazing 25 secret bonuses. I think I only discovered about 7 or 8 of them. The downside of the smaller screen is you can't see the shots they're firing at you. I also do not like this control. However, since it is a Cabaret and extremely rare, I will keep it, Frank. But, and of course, you can't beat the size. Now, also, I didn't do it in time. Now, here's the funny thing. This game has a slightly different wave feature than the other one. Did you notice, if you're an Astro Blaster fan, there's one level of guys that aren't there. You're going to see it in the next one. So they actually added another group of ships on the upright that you're going to see in a moment. So the boards are slightly different for the Cabaret. Oh gosh, I'm doing terrible, Frank. Now you see those stars that are coming down? You really have to hit them. There's my secret bonus because I didn't get hit I'm trying to think of which one that is. Now if you get it docked on without touching anything, touching your controls, you get a secret bonus. There's also a paint scraper bonus, which I didn't get in that one. You know, Frank, let's move over to this one because I can play this one a little better. The screen's bigger, the eyeballs can see better. Nobody's going to want to buy my Cabaret.
Alert, invader in sector 1, player 1 to battle session.
Now I'm going to show you the wave of ships that are in this game that are not in the other one. Just like Galaxian and Galaga and Space Invaders too, you have to avoid those shots coming down at you. I didn't qualify for a secret bonus in this. Yeah, these are not one My Little Mini one. Now if you get them all across, even, nope, I don't get the secret bonus. If I'd gotten them in order all the way across, I would have gotten the secret bonus.
4 ships remaining.
See, the other one went right to this screen. Got it. Now I freeze it. Now watch. By me doing that, if I can get all these in order without going out, darn it, I went out of order. Damn it. Actually, I think if I hit them before they go to the other end. Yeah, you know what? It was if I get them before they hit the other side on that one.
Extra fuel.
Now, I want to hit the stars.
Fuel status marginal. Extra fuel. 3 ships remaining.
The fuel, of course, goes down at the bottom. I gotta admit, I'm very rusty at this. We only played a couple games. I haven't seen this game in ages. Now look, if I don't touch the buttons, I will get a secret bonus. I'll get a second secret bonus if I scrape the sides, but I didn't. That's the extent of the secret bonuses I know about.
Alert, invader in sector 2, player.
Now we're in sector 2. Now, of course, it does tell you the sector here, your fuel, and your status of your laser. Remember, you can overheat your laser. If you keep firing it, see, there's your laser beam here. See, the more I fire it, the redder it gets. Now, if I keep my fingers off of it, it cools down. Programmer of these games, they're just fantastic stuff. Oh, the sound is wonderful. 6x9 speaker gives tremendous bass.
Laser temperature critical.
I know it is.
Laser temperature.
Now, when it overheats, I can't shoot at all.
1 ship remaining.
Now, the good news is when I lose a ship, I do get new lasers again.
Warp activated.
Might as well use the warp because I'm going to get a new one.
7, 6, 5.
Now let's start on the
Fuel status marginal. 3, 2, 1, 0. Exercise extreme caution.
Crap.
0 ships remaining. Play over.
Not extreme enough. Isn't that incredible? Listen, there's a book too. I really should tell you because I found it on eBay. I have it someplace. I looked everywhere for it. I managed to find that VHS tape that you saw, but I couldn't find the book. The book is called How to Master the Video Games. Paperback 1983, made by Bantam. There's actually 2 or 3 up on eBay right now for under $5. The book tells you most of the secrets and how to beat all these classic games, including this one. It's a really great book. I just couldn't find it, so I wanted to show it to you. But you can go to eBay real quick, can't you? Well, Frank, I am exhausted. You're supposed to say something.
I'm too tired, sorry.
You know, it is Christmas. But look, Steve, there's your Astro Blaster.
I'll work.
I just bumped in my fat just bumped into it. Doug, there's yours. Cabinets we did paint black, as you see. The original wood grain cabinet was just too worn for us to bring back to life. They look great. High gloss black. The Arcade Classic sticker was on it when we got this game. The customer also put a brand new overlay on it. The man that we bought this from, he was refurbishing it or something, and apparently he lost interest. We bought the whole warehouse full of the games. This was in there. Broken picture tube, so we had to change that. But my original one has the original overlay on it, Steve. And of course the peel-off chrome T-molding originally was black, but chrome just looks so nice on this thing. The coin lights never lit. There were never lamp sockets in there. Isn't that something? We went to all this trouble, they never lit the coin door. I don't know why. Well, I guess we'll never know. But guess where the third one's going? Into my game room at home. Here's my little baby
So I
Astro
can sit there
Blaster.
and be untouched for the next 5 years.
Only thing I can think of saying right now is, before we end,
Fighter pilots needed in Sector Wars. Play Astro Blaster.
good night. Good night. Now, buzz